just happened to have right now at this moment offered to put another $100 million into Trump-aligned PACs. So, when you ask what's different between this and let's say, Joe Biden went to the Ford factory and drove one of their EV Lightning F-150s, what's different? Show me the Ford CEO who gave him $250 million and is now putting another $100 million into his campaign coffers. That's what's really different. Not to mention, of course, Elon himself having this insanely powerful position in government where he really is deciding who stays, who goes, what happens, what's a priority, and funneling contracts into his own companies while he's at it, defenestrating the regulatory environment so that none of them can investigate his many, alleged abuses of our regulatory system, including we just had yet another SpaceX rocket that blew up. So that's what makes this just so insanely nakedly corrupt is you literally have the president filming an ad on the White House lawn for his largest by far campaign contributor.
Well, and it just, to me, I don't understand what's in it for Donald Trump to be this, and I know you have an answer to this, Crystal, but to be this gratuitous and to be this just completely fawning, drooling over Elon Musk and Tesla. We can actually put A7 on the screen, skip ahead here. Trump was, I don't want to say caught because I don't think he was trying to hide it, but he had some talking points in his hand as he was discussing the Teslas, where he had all of the prices listed out, sort of like you're doing a sales pitch.
The sales pitch notes, that's what it is.
Yeah, so yeah, and it's just, it does, make you truly wonder. I mean, $100 million, it's kind of sad because that's less than half of what Elon Musk infused into Trump's campaign in the late stages, which is just the amount of money that he's able to just throw around is stunning. But it does just for Trump to go to that lengths to sell electric vehicles. I mean, we're not even talking about, we know he loves, Caterpillar, we know he loves the fun trucks and the big toys, but this isn't that. These are electric vehicles. These are not, Trump has himself come around on electric vehicles because of Elon Musk, but to go to all of the effort that they went to yesterday, it just, you really, it does make you wonder. It's so out of character, I think, for Trump that it really makes you wonder, so to speak.
Buying EVs to own the libs is a pretty funny development,
Not even just buying them, but obsessing, fawning over them as such amazing products.
Sean Hannity too. Sean Hannity doing the same thing. He was running some promotion on his show and whatever. It is really preposterous and frankly humiliating. I mean, I also think it's sort of pathetic for Elon that he's gotten to this point with Tesla where he's got to beg the president for favors and to buy one and tout his product, et cetera. And Elon has been aggressively using X as well to promote people who are posting that on social media that they bought a Tesla to support Elon and how great Tesla is, et cetera. He's been using his platform a lot to do that because, I mean, I think the company genuinely is in trouble. I also think their stock price has long been wildly overvalued. Yeah. There was an expectation, not unreasonable, after Trump was elected, and of course, Elon has this prominent position, that would be really beneficial for the company. But I think what wasn't priced in, to use the Wall Street lingo, is the fact that Elon would become this increasingly toxic figure for their primary customer base. And so, most people, they're not trying to make a political statement with their car. And now having a Tesla has become a political statement and a divisive one. So, yeah, that's going to turn off a significant portion of your likely consumer base, especially since it's mostly libs who buy Teslas. So it's a major problem. But, I can't get over the corruption aspect of this and how out in the open it all is. Literally the day he does the sales pitch, you announced you're doing this $100 million cash infusion. The Biden crime family couldn't dream, right? Pelosi insider trading couldn't dream of this level of just naked pay for play that everyone's just yeah, that's just Trump. That's just what he does. The state has really taken on characteristics of both a sort of clientelism, which is just this very transactional government where it's patronage and you do for me and I'm going to do for you. I'm going to reward my friends. I'm going to screw over my enemies. And overt oligarchy, I mean, the fact that Elon is the richest person on the planet and Trump has stocked his cabinet with billionaires and you've got Bezos and Zuckerberg and everybody else rushing in to be part of that favored oligarch class. I mean, I think those are sort of the two competing frameworks you should use to understand the choices that are being made here and the way Trump has decided to run the country this time. And, it's very consistent with if you're a CEO of a company, of a big company, and you're used to try to kind of, both being that transactional person and also being sort of like the king of this corporate empire, you can see how it appeals to him to run the country in exactly the same way. And this time, that is precisely what is happening, because any of the checks and the guardrails that existed, any of the genuine resistance to him that existed in the first term is just completely either melted away or they have taken affirmative steps to make sure that those guardrails do not hold this time around.
I actually think if I were a Tesla investor, it would make me nervous that Musk is so close to the government. He was always close to the government, but is this close to the government? Because I think that just engenders a sense of complacency that would, you end up getting so many favors that we've talked about that before, is it's not, it doesn't create better products. So we have to, before we move on from this block and get to Jeff, Crystal, roll this clip of Peter Doocy from Fox News getting a great question in at this little gaggle on the White House lawn yesterday. This is A6.
While there are some folks who will see this clip at home and they are struggling with their retirement accounts down at the moment, uncertainty about work ahead.
Well, I think they're going to do great. I think our country had to do this. We had to go and do this. They've taken away, other countries have taken away our business. They've taken away our jobs. I did it initially very strongly against, as you know, China and some others in the first term. And it was a very successful term. We had no inflation. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country.
So, Crystal, again, Trump can get away with it. At least we've seen that so far, and there's no sign that that pattern is going to stop when it comes to him as this very singular figure in American politics. But he surrounded himself with other billionaires, essentially, and particularly with Elon Musk. And I think it's, so long as they're doing the messaging, going to be harder and harder to say things like, we're buying new cars and we're waiting out this transition period in the economy. So we just need you to be sort of patient with us billionaires.
Yeah, it's worth it. The recession is worth it, in the words to return to Howard Lutnick at the beginning of the show. And I got to hand it to Peter Doocy. That was a great question and a really apt question. As much as I loved Sargar Anetti's questions yesterday in the briefing room, Peter Doocy also had a really great one too. He was like, it's kind of like a offhanded one, but also very legit. He was like, sure, nobody around here is short in the stock market, gesturing towards this theory that's out there of with you generating all of these wild swings in the market, hey, if you're an insider and you know what's going to happen, you could really be in position to profit off of this. And, this White House has done away with inspectors generals. They've rolled back some of the ethics provisions for the White House that were in place during the Biden administration. They engage in activities like selling Teslas on the White House lawn while Elon Musk is funneling another $100 million into Trump-aligned PACs. CEOs are paying $5 million for the honor of being able to have a dinner with Trump. And again, that goes into Trump-aligned PACs, so that they can make their case directly in this sort of oligarchic or clientelist way to the king and receive his favor. And this is the way business is being done with Elon and Doge as well, where, if you're a Republican senator, not actually a member of the House, but a Republican senator, you have Elon's personal phone number. And if there's a project in your district that gets cut that is causing you problems, you can call him and you can petition the king for, a favor and for special relief. If you are not in his political favor, which means every Democrat, whether you're in a red state or a blue state or your state, whatever, then you don't have that same opportunity to petition the king and get the painful cuts to your constituents rolled back, even though many of those constituents will also be Republicans who voted for Donald Trump.
Well, let's bring Jeff Stein in to drill down even deeper on this question that is rocking the economy. Hey, if you liked that video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Breaking Points.
If you want to see the rest of Counterpoints, go to breakingpoints.com to become a premium member and get the full uncut show every morning in your inbox and on Spotify.